people to really know that God blessed me. He gave me an angel, gave me a special child, Ricky, 58 years old, never could speak, never could cry, and recently even lost his eyesight. But I also want people to understand and know, for the years, more than 50 years of being with Ricky, I know the happiness that Ellen had. She had more love from this child than anybody can imagine, from this child who couldn't speak. And his love was Ellen's greatest joy in life. She loved doing all the things that are necessary to take care of a special child. And yet her reward was she felt the love that she was getting in return from Ricky. And recently, and all along, I've been there, and I love Ricky, and I know Ricky, and I wanted everybody to really know who Ricky is. He's a person, he's a child. He's Ellen's son. He's part of Ellen. And it's interesting because to this day, when Ricky has birthdays, I get letters and notes from people who used to take care of him. He needed total care, saying what a wonderful person and how he only gave happiness. And that was sort of amazing to me because this is a message from people who felt this from a child who couldn't even speak. And I felt it's important that my grandchildren and members of my family really take the time to understand and meet Ricky and get to know him, have a life experience. Because Ricky, I believe, was put here to give love and to make people aware of special children and the love that he can give and how he impacts other people. I really appreciate, Max, you saying to me, I would like to go out and I'd like to spend some time with you and Ricky. And that meant so much to me, and I know it meant so much to Ellen. And we had our day together. I just want you to share your feelings when you first get to see and know and understand Ricky.
Absolutely. When I recently, about a month ago, went to visit Ricky with you and my girlfriend, I learned a lot. As you said, Ellen always referred to Ricky as her angel and our family's angel, and I do believe that. After my experience, and it wasn't my first, but this one really taught me a lot, and I can honestly say he is one of the most influential people in my life. And what happened when we visited, it made me appreciate the smaller things in life that maybe on a daily basis people would take granted for. So when we went to see Ricky, what we did was, me, you, my girlfriend, we took him outside in the sun. It was a beautiful day. You had all the food and snacks prepared, and we put some music on. You mentioned earlier, Ricky, he can't, change this song. I'm hungry. It's too hot out here. So when we were out there, but he can show emotion, and when you see it, it touched me, and it could touch the people around him. So as I held his hand and began to feed him, and we were out there in the sun listening to the music, you could see a smile on his face. And that was when it really hit me. Wow, this is unbelievable. This person, his experience, all the things that he's done. I started thinking about my life and, what's really important. I gotta, go home or hang out with my friends, or what fancy restaurant are we going to go to, or what new movie is coming out, and just to see the joy he got from knowing that he was loved, from getting a meal, spending time with us, and listening to music in the sun. It really meant a lot to me, and I'm so grateful. And Ricky, I love him so much as my uncle, and he truly has impacted my life.
Very emotional. Very emotional to me because I know that Ellen is smiling because all she wanted anybody to know is how wonderful Ricky is. And you're not the first person, as I indicated before. The letters and the notes and the people who take care of him, total care, always mentioned, he's so sweet. And I said, he's Ellen. That's the way Ellen was. Ellen was put on this earth to make people smile. And Ricky went through, I'm telling this to people that don't know us, but Ricky was almost starved to death. He was almost scalded to death. He ended up with a broken hip. Well, he never fell in his life, but he ended up with a broken hip. He had surgeries, and yet he rebounded. And yet he didn't change his disposition. He's still smiling and sweet and good. And it's a very interesting life experience that when I took Ricky to camp, Loyaltown, AHRC's camp, and that's when they have a one-on-one, one person taking care of a child. And we went up there because Ricky went up on Saturday and I were there on Sunday. I wanted to see who's taking care of Ricky. You know, it's total care. And I met an 18-year-old young man from Great Britain. And I said, well, I'm going to watch and observe him. And he spoke with Ricky. You know, people don't understand. They usually don't speak to somebody who can't speak. And he doesn't have the attention that he's going to look you in the eye, but he does hear, and he certainly has intelligence. And this young man's name was Chris. Anyway, I saw he was going to be in good hands, and Al and I returned. 8 years later, I get a letter from Great Britain from Chris. And the opening paragraph said, I want to tell you how Ricky changed my life. And he went on to school to become a nurse and is now working with people with disabilities. And I said, this is a mission from God. That's Ricky's purpose, to impress and show people how wonderful and beautiful our children really are. So when people are different and they're not acknowledged or they're not respected and giving the dignity that they have, then we have a mission. God gave me this mission, and you're participating right now by making people aware that you had a life experience with an angel, with Ricky, and I so appreciate you being here. I love you, and I thank you so much.
I love you too, Grandpa.